Hello and welcome to the channel. I know I'm late to the party with this FIFA 16 career mode, but I've only recently got the incentive to do it, and that's because of players like Rashford and how well they're doing, and I want to bring through new young English talent like that. Try and do another class of 92 sort of thing, or as good as. And also, with the way things are going at Manchester United at the moment, I wanted to prove that if you play a different style of football, a different mentality, a more attacking approach, that the team we've got could be doing a lot better. Even if it is only in a game, I want to prove that this team can do better. So Manchester United are taking a chance on a complete unknown manager, and well, it's the first English manager we've had for a long time. I am a die-hard Manchester United fan, obviously, so I do want to do this. I want to get involved with this. I was going to wait till FIFA 17 to do this. This is my first ever manager mode, and I'm excited to do it. I think it's going to go really well. Hopefully I'm going to have it done in time for the Euros and FIFA 17 itself. So hopefully I'm going to do that in time. With this episode, there's not going to be much editing and there's not going to be much action. It's more of an introduction of what I'm going to be doing, the setup, stuff like that, the formality, the formal stuff. I picked a pre-season tour. It's a new feature in this game. Well, a feature that's been brought back, I should say. We had friendlies and stuff in the last game. I'm going to save over this file because that was just a test that I did earlier. And just looking at the different ones we can have. Some good teams in the American Challenge Cup, so I think we're going to go for that. Yeah, I'll go for that one. Most money, prize money as well. Go for that. And as you saw at the beginning, I did put on the 60% more money and the better the scouts and stuff, because if you've got them, I don't see why you wouldn't use them. So we're going to use them. Just check through these emails. Objectives. Yeah, that seems reasonable, I suppose. Win the either FA Cup or League Cup, that seems pretty reasonable. It's not too demanding from the board. Just look at the other objectives a second. Didn't mean to come out of that, hang on a sec. Win the Cup, semi-final, and qualify for Champions Cup, which is 4th place, which that is actually really reasonable and that's very achievable. 4-2-3-1, the formation we're going to be starting with. That's going to be the main one, I think. I will be adding to the formations and putting different ones out there as we progress, but for now I just want to test this one out and see how well this one does. I'm going to try and find the right one, that's it, and set the team out. Obviously I want to push through the players with a lot of promise, the potential, the players that have got a lot of promise, the young players, so I'm going to start playing them. And as I've said, I want English players in the team or thereabouts as well, because we're an English team, obviously. And as you might have saw at the beginning as well, I turned the transfer window off because I wanted to prove that we could do well with this team, to be honest. And I find if I have the window on, I always buy in a lot of players and sell a lot of players, and I don't give the players I've got a chance. I don't give the players that I've got a fair chance of playing in the team. Like players like Schweinsteiger, he's getting on a bit. We've only just bought him, but he'd be a player that I'd be looking to sell. Same with Valdez, I'd recall him from his loan and sell him. I'd sell Fellaini without giving him a chance. I'd sell Young without giving him a chance. I'd try and sell Carrick, but no one usually buys him in my other manager modes anyway, in my experience. So I want to do well with the players that I've got now, give them a chance. And also I don't want to be buying like 10 players in and selling 10 players each transfer window. This is the team that we started off with, so this is the team that I'm going to stick to for now. I probably will be looking at players in the January transfer window though, but no major signings. So sorry if you're expecting that. I know a lot of people like to see big exciting transfers coming in, but that's not going to be the case for this season. I wanted to do something a bit different as well. I wanted to do this. So I've got the inspiration from Rashford in particular, and some of the other players like Fosu Mensah that I've got. I want to see how well they do in the game. Because I know there's a lot of good players in here. Like Ashley Young's actually really good in this game for me, I find, usually. Ashley Young's actually really handy. Just change the roles. We'll have Mata on the left, Depay on the right, free kick. Same with the corners. Penalties, Rooney, captain Rooney. Won't change that just yet. I'm not going to bother with instructions because every time I do I seem to play worse. And I'm going to put high pressure on. And that's going to be my basic setup, and that's one formation done. I probably should have set it to favourite, but oh well. There's one formation, and as the game progresses I will be adding more formations to try out different things. Transfers. Yeah, we'll set up this global transfer network. Yeah, apologies for this being a slow episode. I mean, it's just an introduction, getting the formalities out the way with first. I am going to try and get an episode out every day, at least an episode, sometimes maybe two, depending on circumstances. So I'll try and get 2 episodes out each day, if I can help it, to try and get this done for the Euros, as I've said. Send a scout out to the Netherlands. So we've got six of the main countries from the top leagues in Europe. We've got Italy, we've got England, we've got France, we've got Germany, we've got the Netherlands, and we've got Belgium as well. Actually, I'll send this guy to Belgium. I'll send him to Belgium. And then I can have the Italian scout. I can send him to Italy. Which makes sense because of reasons. So yeah, he's in Italy. And that should do for that. I just changed some of the instructions. Firstly, I'm going to be looking at fullbacks. I like to start from the back, build from the back, as they say. And we don't need a goalkeeper because we've got the marvellous De Gea. Hopefully it won't go in real life. I won't be selling him for any price to anybody. Definitely keep hold of De Gea if we can. Centre back we're going to be looking at as well. I don't know why I clicked that. Press the wrong button as usual. Position, centre back, and I usually only put 2 attributes in. I usually only look for 2 because I find if you look for too many, your scouts don't usually turn out. They don't usually find a lot of players. So I just use 2. I'm going to go with strong and tall for that one. Next is a defensive midfielder, which Schweinsteiger's been okay, but he's been injured this season a lot. First team quality is strong, and I put the age down to 25 because I don't really want to be buying players older than 25. Sir Alex Ferguson was very good at that. He very rarely bought players over 25. I mean, he bought Berbatov and Van Persie, but they were an exception to his rule. And you saw at the beginning as well, when you get to choose your manager, your model of your manager. I picked regular and light skin toned and in a suit, because you've got to wear a suit if you're manager of Man United. You've got to represent the club and look professional about it. But I didn't want to wear a navy suit because that's blue. You only get a choice between two, grey and navy. There's not many options there for you, but you don't really see your manager model anyway in the game. I think that's just a little something extra. You don't really see it, to be honest. And this last one, I put the contract down to 0 and put the age up to 50. Any position, any attributes, and that will help you find. It'll help you find players that have got contracts running out, so you can approach them in January and you can get players in on a free. And in my last manager mode, the one that I was playing before, I was able to get Ibrahimovic on a free for like the second season, which was obviously really good. Just sorted out the transfer budget there to 90-10 split. As we're not buying players, we're going to have a lot of money to spend as well, so I might as well buy a scout or two, but it doesn't look like there are any decent ones there, so I'm going to wait a while before we buy any scouts. Hire any scouts, I should say. Just sort of look for some transfer targets, look for some free agents first, see if there's anything good in here, see if any players jump out at us, but to be honest it doesn't look too good to be. Doesn't look very impressive. These are all just know nothing about any of these players. I think all the good players have already gone. If you can hear any noise in the background, it's my dog walking about on the floor, hard floor, so apologies for that. And as well, I know my mic's pretty quiet. I haven't got the best equipment in the world, but make do with what I got, really. Just have a look at some of these players that have already been scouted. There's a few good players on there. I'm going to try and not give any indication away on what players I'm going to be after. And also, if you think I should be getting any players, if I should be using players that are like Wonder Kids, if you want to see me use those players, just leave it in the comment section below and I'll see about getting them. Especially if it's players that I haven't used before, I'm always open for using players that I haven't used before. So if you just leave it down below, comment away, any suggestions, requests or what have you, feel free to leave it below. I'll start with a bit of training drills now. It's good that they've included this. I think it's a nice little feature, but I wish it was more in depth. A bit like Football Manager, where you could train the whole team. You can get them down to different regiments, different regimes, different routines, and different drills. But at the moment, you can only do a few players at a time, and you can only do one drill at a time. So hopefully they expand on this, and you can do more with it. Here's a nice little feature though. I'm not going to be boosting them or anything, I'm just going to let them do a thingy. And I'm going to start off with the easy ones, as they've had pre-season to train. And I don't want to go too hard on them straight away as soon as they come back. I'm going to put all my most promising young players on there, potential wise, other than Daley Blind. Now I've put Daley Blind in there and I've put him on passing instead of defending because I want to play him in the middle, as I've already touched on. But Daley Blind is one of my favourite, well, if not the favourite player at Manchester United at the moment, and that's because I like the way he plays. His style is brilliant. He looks like a good proper United player, and he's got a good work rate. He's very efficient and very professional. Also, I was born in England. I've lived in England for most of my life, but recently I have moved to Holland, the Netherlands, because my girlfriend is Dutch and she supports Ajax. obviously a very big team here. She's bought to Ajax, and Daley Blind was bought from Ajax. So for those reasons, he's my favourite player at the moment. Also, another one of my favourites, Gareth Bale. He's going straight on the shortlist. Absolutely have to get him in the team. Christian Eriksen. Fantastic player on this game. I like playing with him. He always does well for me. And he also used to play for Ajax before playing for Tottenham. A team that I do like. I do admire Tottenham. And obviously I've got a sentiment towards Ajax as well. We're very affectionate towards Dutch players. So I will be trying to get some good Dutch players in as well, because there are a lot of Dutch players that are pretty good, like Jasper Cillessen, for example. If we do lose De Gea, he's going to be the one I want to replace him. I have bought him in my other manager modes, but he just sits on the bench and gets angry at being kept on the bench, which is understandable. He's a first team goalkeeper. John Stones, promising young English centre back, and I've also gone for Laporte because there aren't many left-footed centre backs, and Laporte is actually really good and he's really young, high OVR for a 21-year-old, and we are also reportedly after Aymeric Laporte in real life, and he plays for Atletico Bilbao, which happens to be where we bought Ander Herrera from, so he could join back up with his teammate, which would be good. Lukaku would be really good for this team, I think. He's quite quick, he's strong, holds the ball up well, he's pretty good skills. That's what we need really. And he's quite young, 22 I think. And every time I've played with him he's done well for me. Same as Eriksen, he's done well for me. And now this last guy, I don't know anything about him. I've never played with him before, I've never used him, but he came up on my one of my searches, so I want to use him, see if he's any good basically. I want to use him. He came up on one of my searches, pacey and prolific and young, so he fit the criteria basically. So I'm going to add him to my shortlist, see if we can get him in. And see what else we can do. Yeah, so just change the team sheet, so that's my favourite one now, so that's the starting one. Normally I change kit numbers, and normally I'm a stickler for that. I'm pretty particular about what kit numbers my players have, but as we've started the season off with the team we've already got, I'm not going to change it this time. I'm going to change it next season. But yeah, I do like to change the kit numbers so they make more sense. I like to organise them. Kit numbers so it looks a bit more proper. There's not a lot else we can do. There's not going to be any matches in this episode, as I've already said. There's not going to be much action in it. It's just getting the formalities out of the way with. So sorry about that. On next episode, there should be some matches and we'll get through this tournament and then start the season properly. Just add Paul Pogba to that shortlist as well. Should never have let him go. Biggest mistake in Sir Alex Ferguson's career, I think, letting him go, especially for free. He's one of the world's best players now. Going to add Ramsey. I've used him a few times. High defensive work rate, high attacking work rate. Pretty young, good player. Always does well for me as well. Welbeck. Sad that we got rid of Welbeck. because everyone was slating his performances for England, but I always liked Welbeck. And again, he's got a high attacking work rate, a high defensive work rate. And another one I was sad to see go, Hernandez. So we'll add him back into there. He's 27, but I want him back on my shortlist because I really like this player. So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it despite not being a lot of action. I will be bringing out the second episode really soon. So thanks again, and take care. Goodbye.